Joining us now with reaction, Fox News contributor, former House Speaker Newt Gingrich. Mr. Speaker, your reaction to all of this. You know, I would kind of think that killing a terrorist that has been the #1 state sponsor of terror, that might unite America for a few seconds, and maybe a virus that, you know what, is dangerous and worldwide, and that the response could be bipartisan, but apparently not.
Well, look, I think there's a great irony in that the radical Democrats who would destroy the pharmaceutical industry have to confront the fact that if there's any hope for China, it's probably American pharmaceuticals. If there's hope for America, which there is, it's American pharmaceuticals. The fact is our researchers, our scientists, are doing an amazing job, moving with great speed. We have in the Center for Disease Control the gold standard for public health in the world. We have in the National Institutes of Health the gold standard for research into biological medicines. And it's amazing to watch the utter, total dishonesty and irresponsibility of the Democratic leadership, which wakes up every morning saying, I know Donald Trump did something terrible. I wonder what it is. And in this case, to not even have a couple of days of a truce to try to make sure that we have the right public health response. And let me say that Mike Pence has been an extraordinary leader of the Space Council, has brought together the creation of the Space Force, has developed the program to get to the moon and Mars. We know he's a good manager. We know he has real capabilities. And I think he'll do a great job on this task force.
As it relates to what the long-term plan has to be, we actually have hope already with this company in Massachusetts that thinks they've identified the ability to make the vaccine here, which is great. Human trials starting soon. But certainly when the president says we're closing the border to nations that are experiencing greater infection rates, that's not something the left supports, Mr. Speaker. That to them is racist. That is bigotry. We need open borders.
Look, I think the great irony of all this is that the city of San Francisco, in its usual irresponsible way, has already declared an emergency, even though no one in San Francisco has so far shown that they have the disease. And ask yourself this, if you got 40 or 50,000 homeless people, how are you going to quarantine them?
What is the political outcome of this?
How does this did show up?
What is it, after all 3 years of never-ending hate Trump investigations, conspiracies, rage, what is the outcome of this?
Well, I think the Democrats continue, as they did the other night in their debate, they continue to shrink. They continue to get smaller, narrower, nastier, more partisan. I think President Trump and Vice President Pence continue to grow as leaders who are focused on really saving American lives and helping, frankly, save Chinese and Korean and other lives. If there's a real risk here, I think it's to the economy because of the tremendous damage to the Chinese economy. And I think that's part of what the president has to focus on.
Well, yeah, and Wall Street notoriously skittish, understandable, predictable, but hopefully not long term. Mr. Speaker, thank you for being with us.